These are the Kali Audio LP-UNF Ultra Nearfield Studio Monitors, the latest in Kali's Lone Pine series. They're specifically designed to fit on a desk without occupying significant space, all while delivering the comprehensive performance expected from a studio monitor. They're perfect for the bedroom producers, YouTubers, content creators, or anyone with limited space who still desires accurate, uncolored sound at an affordable price. But do they truly live up to the hype? Let's delve into the review and find out. Kali Audio is a relative newcomer to the budget monitor market. Founded in 2018, this California-based company aims to make studio monitors that represent the best possible value for the money. I should mention that Kali did send me these, but there were no strings attached, so that won't influence my opinion in any way. In the box, you'll find a pair of LP-UNF monitors as well as a quick start guide. There's also a power cable, power adapter, and an interconnect cable to connect the speakers together because one is active and the other is passive. The LP-UNF are entry-level monitors retailing at just $299 a pair. The UNF stands for Ultra Nearfield, meaning that they're intended to be used at close range, about an arm's length away. Unlike most monitors, these are engineered for desktop placement, featuring rubber feet to decouple them from the surface. Despite this, I still felt some bass resonance in my desk, so using acoustic pads or desk stands might be beneficial. I'll put the link in the description below. To provide a sense of their size, here's a comparison with the larger LP6 and LP8. In theory, they should be portable enough to take on the road. You can connect them using a traditional audio interface, RCA or USB-C cable, or even Bluetooth. This versatility is perfect for content creators or casual music listening. Due to their compact size, the low-end extension is naturally limited. However, this can be compensated by adding a subwoofer like the WS6.2, which is compact enough to fit in most rooms. For larger spaces, I recommend considering the larger LP6 or LP8 models instead. The LP-UNF is a two-way monitor with a 1-inch textile dome tweeter mounted in a 3D imaging waveguide. It has a 4.5-inch long excursion woofer. It's bi-amped. The amplifiers are Class D with 40 watts going to the tweeter and 40 watts going to the woofer. SPL is 85 decibels continuous at 0.8 meters. Frequency response is listed at 39 to 25,000 Hz, but 54 to 21,000 Hz is probably the more realistic figure. Crossover frequency is 1,950 Hz. It's front-ported, which allows you to set them closer to the rear wall, and the irregular shape is supposed to create a consistent escape velocity of the air, lowering the noise floor and reinforcing the clarity of the bass. On the backplate of the main unit, we have the following inputs: balanced TRS, unbalanced RCA, USB-C, and Bluetooth. There's also a power switch. These dip switches are Kali's boundary EQ control system, which will help you tweak the frequency response depending on how the monitors are positioned in a room. While this design isn't the most user-friendly, especially for those with larger hands, the simplicity of the design is effective in reducing the cost of the product. The simple and clear instructions explain exactly how to set them up. You can also trim the low, mid, and high end. Every room is different, so I recommend experimenting with room controls. There are specific settings for placement directly on a desk or stands behind the desk, monitor stands on the desk, or built-in monitor risers. With the first 3 switches in the upright position, they'll be in programming mode, allowing you to update the firmware through the USB-C port. The capacitive touch buttons on the front allow you to adjust volume, mute, and Bluetooth pairing. The first thing I noticed when plugging these in was the remarkably low self-noise. I had to place my ear right to the tweeter to hear anything at all. In fact, they're even quieter in standby mode than the A77H, which costs $2,600 per pair. That's great for ultra near-field monitors like these because you'll be sitting very close to them. These monitors are obviously too small for my studio, and the cable between them was too short for my 49-inch screen setup. Fortunately, a longer cable can be purchased separately if needed. Keep in mind, these are not intended for larger studios like mine. They're designed for small rooms and desktop use. The clarity is pretty good, and I haven't encountered any other small form factor system that sounds this good at such an affordable price before. They sound surprisingly similar to the larger LP6 and LP8 in the high-mid and high-end. There is, however, a slight boxiness around the 100 Hz region that I didn't like, and it almost sounded like the low end was artificially boosted there. This could be related to the small cabinet, not uncommon for speakers of this size. Adjusting the EQ with the dip switches resulted in a more balanced low end for me. This issue could also be related to my room, which is not a good match for these to begin with. The low-end extension is not as robust as larger speakers, so you won't hear much below 50 Hz. In order to get better low-end extension, you'll need larger woofers and cabinets. It's as simple as that. It might be tempting to place large speakers in a small room for more bass, but this often causes more problems than it solves. For tiny rooms, you're better off with monitors like these. If you want more low-end or for occasionally checking sub-frequencies, you can always add a subwoofer like the WS6.2, which complements these well. Just like the larger LP6 and LP8, the 3D waveguide ensures a rather wide sweet spot for the high end, which is good. I'm not particularly fond of these tests due to their notorious inaccuracy. However, you can discern that the LP-UNF shares some similarities in the mid and high frequencies. Kali likely utilized many of the same components. The smaller cabinet and woofer puts the LP-UNF at a disadvantage in the low end, but this is to be expected and is a compromise inherent in a space-saving solution like this. Here are the pros and cons. These sound flat and neutral overall. It wouldn't be fair to claim they sound just as good as larger and pricier monitors. They do have some limitations due to their compact size, but they will compensate easily by being placed directly on a small desk without occupying much space. That said, they still offer a surprising amount of bass for their size. Although they struggled to fill my room, which again is too large for these speakers, they should work very well in a smaller room. I ended up hooking them up in a smaller room that I have without such heavy acoustic treatment, just to see how they perform there. And I was really surprised by how much low end they actually produced. They certainly sound much bigger than they are. If you have a small room, you'll probably be more than happy with the low end they offer. All in all, I'm quite impressed by the sound quality here, especially considering their small size and the affordable price. For budget-conscious individuals with limited desk space, these monitors could be the ideal solution. If you're a bedroom producer or content creator working in a confined space, these monitors are definitely worth considering. For just $299 per pair, they offer exceptional value for the money, and I don't think you'll find anything that can beat them at this price. If you'd like to purchase the LP-UNF, you'll find the link down below. I'll also include links to the larger options and subwoofers. I hope you found this helpful, and if you did, then please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to support this channel, then consider clicking the Thanks button or support us on Patreon. Thanks for watching.